Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is Too Cute for Cancer. My name is Jody and I have been living with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and I've had cancer for 20 years. So today's topic is going to be how I survived with stage 4 cancer. I kind of put feelers out there and I asked some of you, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to hear? I'm an open book. And this question came up the most. If we were doing percentages, I think we would do 98% of this would be the top question. So guess what? I'm going to tell you. All right, but in order for me to tell you the secret of how I have been living for 20 years with cancer, I'm going to have to give you a short history lesson. All right? I love history, okay? If you don't love history, just kind of like go with me a little bit. It's just kind of a foundation for the next part, all right? All right. So, this is how I kind of started driving my own medical bus, all right? Because I believe that our medical journeys are two different, you could do two different ways. You can just sit back, go into the doctor's, keep your appointment, and nod your head and do anything the doctor says, and okay, okay, okay. And that may work for some, and that's fine. For me, I'm a little bit of a rebel, and that didn't work for me. But it took a long time before I would say, whoop, wait, not working. And I'm not saying that all medical practitioners and practices didn't work for me, because no, I totally believe in doctors. I believe that God has empowered them and gave them these beautiful, brilliant brains so they can research and deal with cancer, things like cancer. So I'm not against doctors, just let that be known. I am for being involved in your own medical care. Okay, that's it. So I call it the second type of medical journey is a bus, and each bus has all these seats in it. I am the bus driver. I am driving. I decide where to go, but I have all these advisors and all these people that maybe need to go different directions and have different knowledge. So what I do is I fill my seats up with only the people that I want to hear from. That's important, okay? So that's what I do. I drive my medical bus, and I just make sure that all who are seated in it are there for my whole being and not just one thing, not just the cancer. Okay. All right. This is how I took charge and started driving my own medical bus. It kind of started out with unrest with my current, not my doctors, love them, but my pain management. After having cancer for quite some time, and now the cancer has moved to my bones, I experience a lot of pain. I have one tumor that is on my lower spine, and it causes a lot of pain. Anyway, so the doctors, what they do is they give you one pill. That pill doesn't work, they give you another pill, and then they give you another and another and another. All of a sudden you're drugged and you're laying in bed and you're thinking, what happened? And to be honest, you're still in pain, but you're missing out on life. So I talked to my doctor, and I said, okay, I just feel like I'm drugged all the time. I don't feel like me anymore. I missed Christmas with my family. It's like, I apologize. That I'm gonna edit out, by the way, I hope. Anyway, so his answer was, well, my goal here is to keep you comfortable until you go, until the end. So I'm like, okay, you keep working on that, and I've got to do something else. So I went on a search. I started asking people, I started getting online, and then that led me to a documentary called Food Matters. Food Matters is a great documentary on Netflix if you want to catch it. Another one is Forks Over Knives. That's another one where they highlighted a team of doctors and scientists that did a study of in China. It's called the China Study. If you want to look it up, great, boring read, but good information. And they highlighted, they found their conclusion was that eating plant-based was way healthier than eating animal protein. Okay, so they did this test, and I'm going to probably say it all wrong, and I really apologize, but you'll get the drift. They took rats and they injected them with cancer. I know, I'm not happy about that, but anyway. And then they fed these rats a pure plant-based diet for the total of 6 weeks. They watched, they retested, and guess what? Their tumors shrunk. Then they fed them 6 weeks of animal protein, and their tumors grew. So then they went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, their conclusion was, in rats, that you could turn your disease on and off by what you eat. Okay, it's not that easy. There's a whole thing out there, but I was really intrigued. And if you are like me, I am not like, oh yeah, okay, let's do it. And I'm very skeptical. I'm like, I don't think so. It's like, those are rats. I'm a human being, you know. It's like when they told me to stop eating or using sweet and low in my tea, which tea. I was like, okay, they did a study with rats. They gave these rats, you know, whatever. I'm a human being. You know, I threw it out. Okay, so that's my personality. That's how I go. So I decided, my husband and I decided that we would do 6 weeks, do my labs beforehand, do my labs after, do scans. We talked to the doctor and we said, this is what we want to do. So we did 6 weeks of plant-based eating and no sugar, biggie. Okay, at the end of the 6 weeks, my cancer markers were down to almost nothing. My scans, my tumors at that time had shrunk to almost to where they couldn't even find them. It was like little spots, little mets, and the doctor was like, He says, well, our protocol must be working. Okay, so I gave him that. I'm thinking, okay, it could have been all the treatment that I did, you know, prior to this 6 weeks. It's just caught up and now it's working. I don't know. So I decided to do another 6 weeks. Guess what? Another 6 weeks. Then one day I went in because I wasn't doing any. In fact, I told the doctor, I'm not doing any more treatments. No more chemotherapy, no more radiation. This is working for me and I want to see if it's going to continue working without all of the drugs. All right, so I did. Went back in for my 3-month scans and my cancer was undetectable. And that's without chemotherapy, without any kind of drugs. All right, so that was awesome. That was about 7-8 years ago. Since that time, I have been plant-based eater. Now, I can't say that I haven't had meat in the last 8 years, because I have, but you can count on one hand that, you know, that I have. And let me clarify, I do eat salmon on occasion. That's my treat, and I love it. But not as an ongoing, not as, you know, my daily habit. I have cut out all animal protein. So, okay, so after I started finding things that worked, I started filling my bus with people that supported that view. I started figuring out different ways to treat the anti-inflammatory, the turmeric, and all this. We will go into a lot more of that if you want to hear it. I will be glad to give it to you. But anyway, that is what I did. Now let me give you this disclaimer. This is my experience. I am not a doctor. I'm not even a nutrition. I'm just a gal with cancer. I encourage you to talk to your doctors. Do anything that you change, talk to your doctors and get their stamp of approval, or at least make sure that it's, you know, something safe for you, because we are all different, all of us, and it may not be a great thing for you, who knows, but it was for me, and it is for me. And I truly believe the way I've been eating and the way I have been handling my medical team, holistic team, all of that together, is why I'm still alive. That, and it's not my time to go, and that is only up to God. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time at Too Cute for Cancer. This is Jody, and say it with me, ring that bell, ding, 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 ding. I know, I'm gonna stop saying it, but we're brand new, and I'm just learning, so if you don't want me to say it no more, it really bugs you, I will. I'll stop, maybe. All right, you guys, take care, and see you next time at Too Cute for Cancer.